It is my pleasure to introduce AnnaSheila Paul from Nevada State University. AnnaSheila Paul is a senior lecturer of visual and digital media and program coordinator for Nevada State University's partnership with Truckee Meadows Community College for their graphic arts and media technology program. The GMAT's 3+1 program ensures the continuity of TMCC students' education all the way through their Bachelor of Arts degree, bringing Nevada State University to the TMCC campus. As the +1 in this partnership, AnnaSheila develops and teaches 400 level senior classes, as well as other levels. As a lifelong learner, she's currently going for another degree and is a doctoral candidate in information technology and education with a focus on artificial intelligence and human machine interaction. And with that, I'll hand things over to AnnaSheila to talk to us today about using AI and Canva for a classroom presentation.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. So thank you for that nice introduction, Alicia. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. So today is using AI, at least for my presentation, using AI and Canva for classroom presentations. And as you already know, I work for NSU. I am the senior lecturer for visual and digital media, but I am also, like what Alicia said, I'm also a PhD candidate. So I've had to use Canva a lot, especially lately for all my presentations with my committee and everyone else pretty much. And I have another big presentation coming up. And so I'm going to be using Canva for that again, because I love how it is so intuitive. So for who is this workshop for? This is the title of this is the blurb for the whole workshop, right? Creating visual presentations, etc. If you are an instructor or admin that has a presentation that you want to get done fast with fancy graphics, this is for you. If you only have free ChatGPT accounts, which for ChatGPT, I have only the free one. I used to have to pay for it, and I decided that it was, I'm going to use something else. And so I have free ChatGPT accounts right now, as well as free Canva accounts. This is for you because you may not unlock all the great paid stuff, but it's enough to get the job done. It's been enough for me to do class presentations, and it's been enough for me to do committee presentations. And so welcome to this class. So the first thing is you can use ChatGPT, which I've been doing, or you can use Canva Magic Write to do your first initial exploration, so to speak. It's ChatGPT we already know as a large language model, right? And so this is from the founder of CEO of Senso.ai. He did a presentation once, and it really it opened my eyes to using prompts. So what he said is to have context when you do a prompt, as well as instruction, as well as input, and an output indicator. What does that mean? So for example, context would be for me asking ChatGPT, saying, giving it context, pretending that ChatGPT is the lecturer so that it knows exactly the parameters that I'm looking for. I said, you are a lecturer for a university in the School of Liberal Arts, teaching higher concepts for senior university students. Boom, context, right? Instruction. I'd like for you to give, in presentation format, an introduction to phenomenology. You can refer to the leading thinkers of phenomenology such as Edmund Husserl, Martin Heidegger, Maurice Merleau-Ponty, and Jean-Paul Sartre's work. So at some point, I know my subject matter, right? Because this is for my 485 class in phenomenology, because we deal with different topics there. So this is one of the topics. So at the root of it, you are still the subject matter expert. So you still have to give it clear instructions. And the input, I said, as a visual media lecturer, I'm interested in visual media students who are not exposed to different philosophical theories to understand what phenomenology is in layman's terms. Some of my students, even though they're 400 level, have never heard of phenomenology. So I'm giving parameters saying this is who the students are. So don't go a little overboard, at least not in the very first introduction of this topic, right? And my output indicator is, as a visual media lecturer, I'm interested in visual media students who are not exposed to different philosophical theories to understand what phenomenology is in layman's terms. Please keep, so I kind of double that. Please keep the slides simple in about 2 sentences each. Limit the slides to a total of 8. So I could really like take out that first sentence, right? Just say, please keep the slides simple in about 2 sentences each. Limit the slides to a total of 8. So I'm giving it parameters. I'm saying I only want 8 slides. I don't want 24 slides because it's too much for them. And then I'll see what ChatGPT will give me, right? And so what I'll do is we can go back to that. And I did it, I already did this, but I want to show you how I do it. So let's, for example, go to a new chat, right? So I'll say, you're a lecturer for university. That's the first one. Oh, sorry. And instruction, I copy and paste. And for my input, I also copy and paste. And for my output indicator, I copy, you know what? I'm going to copy only the last. This is really all I need from the output indicator. And I also copy and paste, and let's see what it comes up with. So this is what it's giving me. And as a subject matter expert, I have to then decide, is this good enough for these students? So then, I can tweak it as I need it. But these 8 slides are pretty good. Why it matters, phenomenology and visual media, Jean-Paul Sartre, because that's part of phenomenology. He's part of phenomenology for existentialism, and Merleau-Ponty, the body experience, etc., etc. All these are good. So from here, I can copy and paste into Canva. However, Canva also has their own magic text here. Okay, so if I click on magic write within Canva and I copy everything that I just put into ChatGPT, okay, it's actually not bad. It will still give me kind of the same thing. And that's because both Canva and ChatGPT are using the same OpenAI technology. It's not as versatile as ChatGPT because it's really meant for giving content in short presentation modes. But that's exactly what I'm looking for, right? So it's not bad. So I can take this or I can take what ChatGPT gave me. In the future, I will probably use ChatGPT less and less when it comes to my content for presentations. If I need something more in depth, that's what I use ChatGPT for. But this workshop is about just using it for presentations, right? It's not bad, not bad at all. Okay, so I can then insert this, which I don't want to do, or I can copy, right? And then whatever I copied, I can put it in whatever order. But before we get that far, I'm going to kind of stop what I'm doing and continue here. Okay, so like I said already, for shorter generative text, click on the text in Magic Write, and I just showed you that. It's not as versatile, like I said, but both are from the same OpenAI technology. So to make a presentation, for me anyway, since I'm visual media, I really like having lots of good visuals. Okay, so for me, templates are friends And for if you're just looking for a quick presentation and you just want to get it done, templates are your friends, and you can use keywords such as, for me, you can combine them with a plus, say philosophy plus visual media, and you can change the look of the templates as needed. So let me escape that, and we can go here back to Canva for projects. I can say I'm going to create a project here. The plus is the creation of projects. Okay. And I'm going to say presentation. I'm going to make a new presentation. It's a little slow, but that's okay. So for templates, I'm going to say phenomenology. I just want to see what's available. All right. And this is for everybody. Plus visual media. Let's see what it comes up with. Because sometimes, if you don't like it, then you can just give it different keywords, right? So phenomenology plus visual media. Let's see what we come up with. Some of these are pretty good. Okay. And so if you think you like something, what you can do is I would probably click on this just to see. Okay. And then I'll take a look. Before I apply all of that, I got to see if this is kind of sort of like what I'm looking for. And if it's not, keep going, continue, because you don't want, if you're in a hurry, you don't want to be looking, you don't want to be editing it too much. So I don't like this one. So what I'm going to do, because I did this last night and the night before, I found this one, so I like it. So this is what I'm going to do, because it's the closest, it seems like the closest thing that I'm looking for. So I'm going to say apply all 16 images. Let's click here. And I like it. I'm going to apply all 16 images. I don't like all of it, so obviously I have to edit, but not too much. Okay, and so I like it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, sorry, I gotta move some things so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to call this VIS 485 phenomenology. Okay, maybe two, because I'm not sure if there's another one like this that I'm calling. So if I look, I'm going to see, okay, I can work with this. I can totally work with this. And so if I were to go back to my ChatGPT or my Magic Write, but for now, because ChatGPT is already open, I'm going to take a look. I said, what is phenomenology? That's the first one. And then it talks about Edmund Husserl, and it talks about other people. So I'm like, what is phenomenology? Is this good for me? Right here. Oh, sorry. Lesson objectives. I could probably say what is phenomenology for that one. So let's do the first one. I'm going to click and copy and paste, and, on the fly, what is phenomenology? And I can just make that wider. However, I kind of don't like what it looks like, so I'm going to um, take out the effects. Okay, I'm going to just give it that, but I don't like the color either, so I'm going to change that, and I'm going to make it black. Okay, good, title done, right? I mean the first one done. Okay, and then let's see. Phenomenology is the study of how we experience things. Okay, copy, paste. Oops, this one. Is a study of how we experience. Boom. Okay, and then I like it. Okay. I gotta obviously change some things. So what you're seeing is actually, if this were in real time, which it is, this is how I would be doing this. It's that for me, this is quicker. It asks, what is it like to perceive, imagine as it appears to us? Okay. Maybe I can put another one here. Okay. All right. So that's Done. The first slide. Maybe I should change also this one. Okay, Introduction to the Philosophy of Human Technology. You know what? I'm going to say Visual VIS 485 um, phenomenology, right? And I can change this, however, but just because I don't like seeing it right now, I'm going to change it to black, take out the effects, and boom. Okay, so phenomenology, lesson one, first slide done. And then the next one is it's telling me, this one. Next one is telling me Edmund Husserl. So for me, I'm going to take a look at the rest of this, right? And I'm going to go, well, this is not really fitting for Edmund Husserl. Um, that's not either. Ooh, that would have been better if I did what is phenomenology. Maybe that's what I'll do. But I'll change that in a bit. Not really, not this one. I could do this. Okay, so let's turn this into Edmund Husserl, just for the heck of it, right? Let's see if it fits, and if it's let's see, a little too big, right? And that is, and I do not like the effects. It is very rare that you're going to get into a template that you love everything about it. You're supposed to change it up a bit. And this is a little too big, in fact. All right. I'm going to take out Socrates because that was from before. And I'm going to go to Husserl. Okay. And make this even smaller just so to fit everybody in there. Husserl, sorry, my bad. R. Okay. And that's, whoops, that's done. Okay. Now, what do I do about this one? Well, good thing about Canva is you can just copy and paste anything that you want, really. So can I go to Magic Media for Husserl's picture? I could. Magic Media is their generative AI, by the way, for graphics and for pictures. There's the generative AI for text that I showed you before, Magic Write, but they also have Magic Media for photos or graphics. But you have to be careful in using Magic Media because it's not meant to reproduce exactly something specific. So if you want Edmund Husserl himself or a picture of a person, you might as well just search online and search for Edmund, oh, that was it, Husserl, this guy, right? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to copy this image. I'm going to go into here. Yeah, this is it. And then I'm going to what this one. My bad. There's a lot of things open right now. So I'm going to delete Socrates or the graphic of Socrates, put Edmund Husserl. And what I like about Canva is it automatically puts some sort of a frame around it. And so you can just let it show the amount of the picture that you want and put them in here. There goes Edmund Husserl. Okay, I just replaced Socrates with Edmund Husserl. And then you see this. What I would like is I could probably position him and say, go backward. There you go. Now he's behind this leaf. And then I'm going to um, copy and paste the rest of his blurb and put it here. Okay. Paste. It's a little too big, so I can just change it. Oh, there we go. And then just finding the right width and going here. Okay, so let me just play around with it some more. Now, if I wanted to have voiceover for this one, there's many things that I could do. I could play around, but usually that's the last thing that I do is the voice. Okay, so I'll show that in a minute. So what I wanted to do also is I want to change this up because I like the other one instead. Sorry. I like this one instead, right? This is a much better what is. And so what is phenomenology? Again, I take out the effects and do that and change the color to black. And and I get to use it. I like that. I like that much better than the other one. So I'm just going to copy and paste right here. Copy and paste. And then packs. And the last thing for this particular one is it asks, what is it like to perceive, feel, or imagine something as it appears to us? Okay, here. I'm just gonna, this is actually perfect because it's got that little blurb thing there, right? So now I can delete this one because I don't need it. Just click delete. And I don't really want this. I might use this, so I'm gonna kind of push this aside for a little bit. So this is now my first page, the introduction. Not the introduction, but my title page. This is the first, and then we have Husserl already. And I'm gonna put this. Just keep pushing aside what you don't need. And so now I have we have slide one. We have slide two. I'm not going to do all the slides for the purposes of this, but I do want to show you some cool stuff. So the idea of intentionality. Let's see. Let's do one that is kind of encompassing what phenomenology is. Phenomenology and visual media. I like that. So because that's one of the last slides, right? So I can do that now. And let's see which one out of this whole thing. So let's see. Another one. I don't really need another one because I already got, maybe when we talk about Heidegger, I'll do this one, but I already have Husserl. So let's see, something in the lines of what is it? So how about this one might work actually. So let's see for this phenomenology and the visual media, right? Let me see if that will fit. Yeah, that will fit. Okay. Um, and again, no effects and black text. Okay. And then because this is so short, I can probably get rid of the rest of the bottom, but let me see. Let me see first. Um, yeah. Okay. I'm going to make this all one. I think this can work. I can just make it smaller. Okay. I think it can work. And I can make this it's not too bad. I don't want um one word there, but there's three words at the bottom, so that's okay. And then the good thing about having a template is I can just go, I don't need this, don't need this, don't need this. now what I'm going to do for the rest of this, I would like to add some photos, if not photos, something that maybe from generative AI, right? Because this is talking about phenomenology and visual media. So let's see what magic media has for us for phenomenology and visual media. um, Let me go back to here just because for the presentation. So like I said, feel free to change the look of the templates as needed. You can add, edit, or take out effects. And use Magic Media within Canva for their visual generative AI. This is only really good for non-specific pictures and graphics, like I said. For specific people like Edmund Husserl, you don't want generative AI to kind of show you kind of like Edmund Husserl. If you have a picture of Edmund Husserl, use it. Don't make generative AI kind of sort of give you what looks like Edmund Husserl. Just Google it and copy and paste, right? And then you can add different apps, and that's what we're going to do. Let's see how far we can go with that today. But first, let me go back to here and let's give it, um, let's see, just call it phenomenology plus visual media. That's exactly what I did for text. Um, Sorry, for other things before, but why not for the template? But let's see what generative AI for pictures and graphics will give me. Sometimes it's a hit or miss, and sometimes it's all right. But for quick presentations, it's not bad. So it'll take a couple of seconds. Usually not that bad. And as a subject matter expert, I look at it and go, that's kind of like what I'm trying to talk about. Okay, but if I don't like it, what I do is, because I never know if I'm going to need it, I'm going to sometimes, um, if I don't like it so much, I'm going to click here and I'm going to cut and I'm going to go all the way to the end and just gonna add page and there. Just because I never, it's kind of like a repository for me as a visual media person. I'm like, I might need that later. I might also need that later. Okay. And then I'm not quite convinced yet. So let me generate again. Okay. Ooh, I like this one because phenomenology and visual media, it's about your own perception of things. When it comes to the visuals and the textures and the colors, and I'm like, okay, okay, we're talking. I like this one. It's very, um, it's kind of AI though, maybe not. One more time, just one more time, you guys. That one I like. I like that one. That's kind of what I'm looking for. It's like your own lived experiences of the colors and the visuals. I like that. I'm going to maybe even this. As a subject matter expert, I'm making this decision, right? So I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to choose that. But since this is still up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to, where was it? Which one did I use? Here, right? And I'm going to bring this all the way to the front just so that I'm not confused. So now I have the title page, what is phenomenology, Edmund Husserl, and this one, phenomenology and visual media. I'm going to put another one there, okay, as part of my, I'm thinking a montage, right? Why not have some sort of a montage of pictures, right? And then another one here. Maybe I'll put her a little bit here. Again, I'm designing as I write. And then this one, okay, phenomenology and visual media. And I'm going to give it, just to have a good flow. And I would like for this one, because this is a very powerful image, I would like this to be positioned in the front. So I'll say to front. Let's go to front. This one, I want this kind of in the back. So I will put this backward. Okay. That's a good flow. Okay. So that is phenomenology and visual media. And then now let's see what else we can do with this. For here, let's see, we can try other things that are right here in Canva at others at our disposal, right? I mean, for us to use, we can have some apps. Let's see what we can do. Speed paint. Speed paint is kind of trending right now, where there's a hand that kind of paints or draws. We could do that. Let's see what we can do. And you can open it. You do have to sign up for it, but it's free. It depends on how many you do. I'm not sure if I've used up all of what I have already, but let's see if it'll still let me. I may have used up all of it already. We'll see. And then it's going to ask me 30 frames, 60 frames. I like 60 frames. What do I want it to look like? I want it to look kind of like this after it's done painting this. And what hand do I want? I'm okay with this one. I can choose from which hand I want for that speed paint. I like this one. Why not? Okay. Background, it's whatever. So you leave that alone. Auto, drawing order, auto. Let's see if I still have. Let's connect. Because I've done this before, and if I still have credits, because everything's free for me, right? I want free stuff. I don't really want to pay for that. Let's see. Let's see. If not, then we'll do something else. I still do. Let's do it. Animate image. So we'll take a little bit. I thought I clicked it.
It shows you have 0 credits left at the bottom there.
Oh man, that's what. Thank you. No wonder. Okay, so that's not. I do have something that I created, so I will show it to you in a bit. But we can add other things to here. We can even change. Luckily, I already pre-recorded one, so you get to see what it looks like after I get my credits back. So for here, I want to look at, let's see, I want to do like maybe slice. Okay, so maybe slice. Okay, just giving it some sort of an own experience. So what I can do, I would like to copy and paste this. Okay, and from here, I have something right on top, and I'm going to do a cut of a slice. Now I'm designing because I'm part of visual media. So the bottom one is not going to be touched, and the top one, I'm going to do a slice. Okay, how much? Maybe that much, not too much. And then I save. Okay, so that is, I'm creating even more. Okay, there are so many things here that you could use. Obviously, I'm out of credits for speed paint, but I will show you what that looks like. And there's liquify also. If I wanted to really make this look like one's own lived experience, I could have it melt, right? A little bit melty. The amount of meltiness is up to me. Ooh, that's kind of scary looking, not too much. That is even better. I like that, and I say save. So that is for that screen, I'm going to call it good and go, okay, phenomenology and visual media. What else can I add? Let's see. Okay, we have a little bit more. Why it matters. I'm going to do one more screen. And then again, I'm going to look at all of these. I don't need for this purposes of this demo, I don't need one for Play-Doh. I'm going to delete that. I don't need one for another, you know, I'm just going to delete what I don't need. Maybe not even this one. I think I'll use this one because I haven't used this one yet. Why it matters. Okay. I like it there. Again, I don't like the effects. I'm going to take out the effects and give it a black color. And then I'm going to paste. Phenomenology reminds us that every viewer sees differently, experiences are situated, embodied. Okay, I like that. Back to here. Sorry. A little too big, but I can make up for that. I can change it. And I don't need this though. That's kind of the wrong. I'll make it just one. And one more. Maybe I can get it. I don't like this, so I'm going to make this smaller. There you go. That looks good. Okay, so why it matters, that one. So let me delete all the others that I don't need at this point, right? Let's pretend that I have all 8 of the things that I'm looking for, 8 of the slides. In fact, I only have 4 right now. That's plenty. Oh, no, I'll use this one. This kind of already looks a little bit like that. So I'm gonna delete this. So now let's pretend that I have 8 instead of 4. I just did half. This is my repository, so to speak. If I don't like this, I can just delete this later. But right now, this is what I have. I have the first, what is phenomenology? I have the second, the roots, Edmund Husserl, a little bit about Husserl, right? And phenomenology and visual media, the bigger picture of why it's important to visual media and why it matters. I can even move some things a little bit lower just because. And then let's see what else we can do here. There are other things that you can do. For example, why it matters. Let's add some, let's go to the beginning. Let's add, if you really wanted to, you can add let's add some, not necessarily voice. Let's add some music first. Let's go under audio. There's a few things to note. Let me go back to here. So speed paint and slice. There's puppetry that we're going to take a look at in a bit. But there's other things such as charts. Probably the biggest selection of charts there is, and I'll show you in a bit, especially if you add flourish. And let's add elements also. You can add elements, which has frames, shapes, videos, mockups, photos from stock videos, stickers, tables, you name it, and music. That's what we're doing right now. Let's give it some audio. So when you go into Canva and you go into audio, like I showed you, it is built-in library of stock music and sound effects. But if you go from elements, it's a bigger library and may or may not be free. So what does that look like? So here, and I might as well show you while we're here. So if you look at Canva audio, just right here, okay, right here. This one is the stock that they have, and there's plenty. There's so many, and you can record your own, and which we'll do in a bit, right? If you're to do it from elements, however, and then elements, and click over here. Whoops. And let's, oh, right here, audio under elements. This one is in a bigger realm, so to speak, because you may or may not have to pay for it. So other people have put stuff in there. So right now I'm just looking for something free, right? I just need something fast. So I'm going to go here, not in elements, and just for audio. I mean, there a lot of them are overlapping, so it's okay. And I'm going to, in fact, sorry, I gotta go back in here. And this is where we were. Let's see. Something that is happy, pop. I don't want kind of pop. I want something piano-ish, something just in the background. Okay, that's not that's not bad. Um, right? Let's see. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's let's put that in here. Just click and drag. Okay, it's giving me, it's thinking. So now if I were, I thought I dropped the music. There it is. If I wanted to go through the whole thing, I can just click and drag that until however long my presentation is. If it's looping, then it's great. Okay, so what does that look like? Sorry, it's thinking a little bit. I'm one of those people who are instant gratification, in case you haven't noticed. Like it has to do it right away, but sometimes you have to wait and then let it think. Okay, so for right now, this is what it looks like with music. So if I were to present this, right? I click. It's a little loud for me. I like to talk on top of what I'm presenting. And so I'm going to click on these three dots here, and I'm just going to adjust the volume. It's a little loud for talking on top of people, right? So in the 30s, maybe 14 even, okay? And so that could be a presentation on its own. But if you want to get fancy, you could choose a page and add even more. I could, let's see, I could do a voice, I could record my own voice. If I don't want to speak in front of the crowd, right, I can just have it record. And so, hold on a minute. Okay, I'm going to try to record. Okay, I'm going to allow it this time. Who's, hold on. Hold on, I got shy a little bit. Let me throw that out. Let me see if I can get delete recording. Let me see if I can get one recording that's good. Let me go back to here.
AnnaSheila, I don't think we're hearing your sound, from the presentation inside of
Oh,
You're gonna have
the
to
Zoom.
share your computer audio probably.
thank you. I thank you for reminding me of that. I totally forgot to share my sound. There it is. Okay, so let me go back just to show you. I lowered it, and because it was a little loud, but you guys couldn't hear it anyway. It's okay. And if I were to present it, this is what it looks like. Oh, you still can't? Hold on a second. Interesting. As soon as I shared my sound, it stopped. Let me see. There it is. Can you hear it? Can you guys hear that?
Yes, that's coming through now.
Oh, okay. Okay. I wasn't sure what was going on. All right. So I did lower it because when I present this to students, sometimes I speak. Most of the time I speak. But what I'm saying is I don't have to if I pre-record myself. So I can do that. I can go to here, okay, and then go back to audio. and do record voiceover. Let's see. What is phenomenology? Phenomenology, you know what happened? It was too short, so I couldn't even read it. So perhaps what I should do is have, let me make this smaller, put this ChatGPT here so that I can just read it while it is recording. Hold on a second. What is phenomenology? Let's see. Phenomenology is, okay, so I'm going to read this while it is recording because I couldn't before because it does it in real time. So let me try one more time. Delete that. I don't like it. Okay, go back to here. Audio again. Okay. I'm just going to record a little bit. What is phenomenology? Phenomenology is the study of how we experience things, focusing on conscious experience itself rather than external facts. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can perfect it however you want. Just for the purpose of this workshop, that's what I have. Okay. So now I get to decide where to put it. So at this point, I know that I want it in this slide right here. Okay, so I'm going to drag that all the way there. However, it's kind of long and this is only 4.6 seconds. So the way it has it, if you click here, you can actually make this longer up till the end of my recording. Now I can go back to here and play it and see what it looks like. I mean, this is, you know, I can go back anytime. What is phenomenology? Phenomenology is the study of how we experience things, focusing on conscious experience itself rather than external facts. Okay, I like that, right? If I want to change it because I'm conscious of my voice, whatever, right? But right now, I like that. But I don't have to be the one to talk. If I don't like my voice, what you can do is click on this one and copy and paste, oops, sorry, just the text. Copy and paste, go back to audio, and you can generate an AI voice, right? More AI. So if you click here, there are some voices that you can choose from, not too many. And it has changed, I have to tell you. In the past, I used to be able to choose from a whole list of different voices. Right now, there are 2 women and 2 men. If you take a listen, this is what it sounds like.
Did you know emus and kangaroos cannot?
I don't like that. This one.
Did you know emus and kangaroos cannot walk?
That's better. And if I were to do a man,
Did you know emus and kangaroos?
but that doesn't really go with what I'm doing, right? Because I already have my voice in there. So I'm going to choose another woman. I'm not saying that this is what I would do. I'm just showing you different things that you can do.
Did you know emus and kangaroos cannot walk backward?
Okay, so let's do that. Okay, let's generate the AI voice. Let's see what happens. And so now we're talking about Husserl himself. I want it to come up right here. But then it's long, right? It's longer than the slide. So I have to make the slide a little bit longer. So now, if I were to play it, what is phenomenology? Phenomenology is the study of how we experience things, focusing on conscious experience itself rather than external facts.
Husserl, the founder of phenomenology, urged us to go back to the things themselves. He wanted philosophy to describe experience exactly as it appears to consciousness, without assumptions about the outside world.
Okay. I made a mistake there. I was going to choose Lisa, but then I was looking at the time and I chose Richard instead. But now you get the idea, right? And so the music, I want it to keep going until the end. So I'm going to do that. And if I want it to, I think we're running out of time. If I want it to, we could have the music five, fade out about 5 seconds, right? About, let's see, a little bit more maybe. Okay, so I'm going to play it one more time with those changes. We're running out of time. And then I will show you. What is phenomenology? Phenomenology is the study of how we experience things, focusing on conscious experience itself rather than external facts.
Husserl, the founder of phenomenology, urged us to go back to the things themselves. He wanted philosophy to describe experience exactly as it appears to consciousness, without assumptions about the outside world.
Right. Okay, so that's it for now. There are other things though. Let me go back to here. Just to kind of finish up here. So I can add music, I can add elements, right? There's different things. I mean, I can keep going from here, but I know we're going to run out of time. Charts, probably the biggest selection I have. I don't really have time to show you that, but it's amazing. All you have to do is put in your CSV file or whatever file you have, and it will generate a chart for you, and you can generate many different types of charts, especially if you choose the Flourish app, because you can, it's kind of like a teaser, and then it will give you more if you sign up for the Flourish app within Canva. Okay. Like what we just did, add voiceover, either your voice or AI. And the good, there's another AI generated thing that I really like. I think it's kind of awesome actually. If I click here, right, I can click on notes, and I can use my own notes. I can say, okay, talk to the students about da 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 da. But if I wanted to, I can have AI generate notes for me, and I love it because, then try again, maybe this one, generate notes. It's telling me this is what I should be telling my students when I'm presenting. Phenomenology is truly fascinating because it centers, so it's taking what I have here, and then this is what I should be saying. If, let's say, if I didn't have voiceover, this is what it's suggesting I say. And sometimes it says pause before transitioning to the next slide. Isn't that funny? It tells me what to do. Pause. And there's sometimes when it tells me wait until the students ask you a question. I'm like, okay, right? It's kind of like my little cheat sheet. So that's another AI part of this whole thing. One last thing is, this is what I did as a full thing. And so there's obviously more to this one, right? Because I've had more time. I didn't just have 1 hour. So let me show you this one.
What is phenomenology? Phenomenology is the study of how we experience the world, how things appear to us through our perception. It asks, what is it like to experience something before we analyze or explain it?
That one's puppetry. You don't have to use that. It was just something I wanted to.
Instead of looking at the world as a scientist or critic, phenomenology looks at it as a participant. It focuses on lived experience, how reality feels, and shows itself to consciousness.
Here I didn't say anything to this one. I was just playing around. Why it matters to visual media. Phenomenology helps artists and designers think about how people actually experience images, space, and time. And that's the drawing that I tried to do today, but I'm out of credits, but that's what it does. It's pretty cool. And it's free until you get more credits. And here's one of the charts that it did for me. I just put in something there real quick from one of my PhD classes, just to show you. And it was so quick, like I'm talking like split second. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing because I think I'm out of time, right? It's 12:28, sorry.
We're coming up against it here in just 2 minutes.
Yeah. So any questions? I just want to show you my real time, how I would do it. I was able to do with explanations and all that other stuff. I was able to do like half the presentation already. And if I were to do it really fast, I could have done all 8 slides and I would be off and teaching it, you know. As a subject matter expert, I have a whole lot of leeway. I'm like, okay, this is right, this is not right, you know, that kind of thing. So any questions?
There is one question in the chat asking if they wanted to upgrade, they would need to pay for an account, right?
Yes, but just to let you know, I have never paid for Canva. I have never, if I'm out of credits, I just wait and I do something else. There are so many effects and so many apps, lots of generative AI, as you saw. They will generate it for you, and you choose which one you want. If like today, I couldn't do the speed paint. That's fine. I just used something else. I used the Truckee or whatever that was.
Real quick, it might be, I just wanted to tell you that our marketing department here at TMCC, so for those of you who are instructors here at the college, marketing is pushing us to use Canva. They want us to use it. They have licenses or whatever. I don't know enough about it to answer any questions whatsoever, but it's definitely available to you as a tool, paid, unpaid, or however. Maybe Alicia, you know more about it, but we definitely are wanting a faculty to feel free to use it here at the college.
Right.
I
Yeah.
did send a chat while we were talking because that question came up as a direct message to me. And I have that out to marketing asking, if faculty can request accounts if we have seats for the paid account that might have a little bit more function and not have to rely on the credits.
Right. There was a question how long to wait until to get credits. Some of them a day. The others you got to pay extra to get it, but I've never paid extra to get it. I wait, and then sometimes when I go in, because I don't always have to present from Canva, right? Sometimes I go in, I'm like, oh, that app has now been changed a little bit because things are moving pretty fast. In case you haven't noticed, for all AI, so a lot of those things weren't there, and some of the things that I liked were no longer there, like the many different voices. Now I only have 4 from AI voices. I'm okay with that, right? So there's a lot of changing hands going on in the AI business world, and so just wait a little bit, and you'll see that it might be free. You never know.
And
Cool. Thank you. Oh.
if you use a voice previously, it's part of your presentation. If it's not available now, do you lose it in your presentation, or it's just not available to modify or use again?
It's not available to modify. I have never lost it because I can still go through my previous ones and it's still there.
Okay, perfect.
But modifying it, I'm like, that person, like whatever the name they gave it, like an Ashley or something, is now gone. It's now like, Sarah. I'm like, it's okay. It's all right. And it's changing all the time. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, AnnaSheila. Just really quick to wrap up, because I know we're out of time. But I wanted to thank everyone who joined today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.